A very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iriwu. Today we will be focusing on the northeastern region of the country. But before we get into that, let's take a look at national headlines making the rounds at the moment. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered the prompt deployment of a substantial number of human and technical resources to augment the manpower of the Benue State Command and ensure swift rescue of the 20 medical students who were abducted in Otukpo, Benue State, on their way to the annual convention of the Federation of Catholic Medical and Dental Students in Enugu. This directive includes the mobilization of additional tactical units, deployment of advanced helicopters and drones, as well as specialized tactical vehicles to facilitate the safe return of the victims. He reiterates the determination of the force to leave no stone unturned in the pursuit of the perpetrators and others alike, as the Nigeria Police Force remains committed to sustaining the fight against crimes and criminality, most especially kidnapping. The IGP equally appeals to the general public to provide useful information and actionable intelligence that may aid the ongoing investigation and the rescue operation. Individuals with relevant details are encouraged to contact the nearest police station or the force headquarters via press for Abuja at police.gov.ng and other helplines. Medical doctors under the aegis of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, Federal Medical Center Makurdi, have threatened to embark on indefinite strike if their abducted colleague, Dr. Ganiat Popola, is not released before the 26th of August 2024. The president of NAD, FMC Makurdi, Dr. Fanen Dogo, who briefed journalists, says the association has lost patience with the government's inaction over the abduction, adding to the news of the kidnapping of 20 medical students in Otukpo en route Enugu State. Other doctors say abduction of medical doctors has become a pattern in most kidnap incidences, while no words have been received on the rescue or safety of the kidnapped victims. And in Plateau State, medical doctors at Jos University Teaching Hospital have also embarked on a peaceful protest within the hospital premises in solidarity, seeking for the release of Dr. Ganiat Popola, who was kidnapped several months ago in Kaduna and is still in captivity. President, National Association of Resident Doctors, Jos University Teaching Hospital branch, Dr. Kwashak Kevin, expresses concerns over the safety of his colleague, who he believes is still alive, with a call on the federal government to intensify efforts in seeking the release of the medical personnel from their abductors. Flooding has claimed another life in Adamawa local government area of Bauchi State. According to officials of SEMA, many residents have been displaced and are now seeking refuge in an IDP camp established at Adamawa Central Primary School. This tragedy comes on the heels of a federal government inspection led by the Minister of Works, Mr. Dave Umahi, and accompanied by Governor Bala Mohammed. The delegation examined federal roads severely affected by the flooding, including the Kano-Jigawa Road, which has been cut off for days, as well as the Kano-Maiduguri Highway and other roads threatened by the heavy downpour. Mr. Omahi faults contractors handling federal road projects for failing to adhere to specifications and announced that the federal government will provide immediate remedial measures.
We have decided how to do this job. You know, your governor, action governor. He did it in Abuja FCT minister. We are following his footsteps. We have designed the project here, and the work is to start immediately. Yes. I want to thank the governor very highly for the palliative work. We reported it in the Council of State that this road was cut, and the governor has provided palliative work. This is governance. This is governance for the people. Because this road is a major road. It's a major road. Kano to Meduguri road is very, very important. And when I live here, we are going to Session 1, Jigawa, between Jigawa and Kano. We are terminating that job because it has been there for 17 years. The president doesn't want that. He wants to complete it quick because he loves the people of Northeast. Put your hands together for our president. We are going to have 5 relief culverts. We are going to put retaining walls both sides. We are going to concrete it with concrete 8 inches. And nothing will happen again when we finish. That is what the president said I should tell you.
We move over to Taraba State, where the government says the local government autonomy granted by the Supreme Court has come to stay in the state as it aligns with its policies to ensure devolution of power. The chairman of Taraba State's Local Government Autonomy Advisory Committee, Honorable Abel Peter, stated this in Jalingo, the state capital, during a sensitization workshop with critical stakeholders in view of drawing a blueprint for the implementation of the Supreme Court ruling across the 16 local government councils of the state.
This is the first official meeting between Taraba State Local Government Autonomy Advisory Committee and the 16 local government chairmen, heads of local government administrations, directors of finance, Bureau for Local Government, among several other critical stakeholders. The purpose of the meeting is to develop a framework towards the full implementation of local government autonomy in the state. Chairman of the committee and former Speaker of Taraba State House of Assembly warns LGs not to depend solely on the monthly federal allocations, but intensify efforts on internally generated revenue to run their affairs.
This newfound autonomy, you will have the authority to plan, implement, and manage development projects that caters to the specific needs of your local government area. You will have the ability to allocate resources, hire personnel, and make decisions that were previously restricted by state government. This is a remarkable opportunity for you to enhance the delivery of public service, address local challenges, and foster sustainable development in your community.
He believes a lot can be unlocked with local government autonomy, as it will drive transparency and accountability towards improving service delivery and the overall well-being of respective communities.
You must ensure that the dividend of democracy reach the farthest corner of your community, and that the aspirations of your citizens are truly reflected in the decisions you make. To achieve this, you must embrace a new mindset, one that prioritizes transparency, accountability, and inclusive decision-making. You must engage your community, listen to the needs and aspirations, and work collaboratively to develop solutions that address the most pressing concerns.
Participants at the meeting appreciate steps taken by the CAFAS-led administration to ensure that local authorities have unique opportunities to reshape the landscape of service delivery and development at the grassroots.
This autonomy is a welcome idea. Actually, there will be deployment at the grassroots level. With this, even insecurity will be reduced to the minimal level at the local government level.
Things are happening. They have government, they have governor, they have caring people on ground. Yes, in this August committee, we will make our challenges more and more that they will be looked onto, so that our parents will not be crying again. Presently, as we are talking, there are almost about local government retirees that have retired that are yet to be payrolled for pension payment. You see, that one is a big problem. We have made the memo. We are graciously waiting for His Excellency's approval. When approved, all of them, the pensioners, they are our parents, they are our guidance, they are our consultants. We find them everywhere. We hope this committee will come into the issue of the pension payment immediately after retirement and the issue of the gratuity that is above there.
The goal of the Taraba state government is to ensure a hitch-free implementation of the local government autonomy, which it believes will be a model for others to copy to ensure grassroots emancipation and development.
We head over to Gombe State, where the state has been selected as the first state in the 19 northern states of Nigeria to participate in the Nigerian Investment Certification Program for states overseen by the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council. The certification program collates and provides reliable information on states to help investors such as transnational corporations narrow down on their infinite destination choices for foreign direct investment. In an unprecedented 3-day brainstorming exercise, officials of various MDAs have converged on the Gombe New Banquet Hall to pull together information on Gombe State in readiness for business with the global community.
That the world seek for places to invest capital. However, the dearth of relevant and key information serve as a major drawback. For Gombe State to leverage on its record as a 2-time winner of the Ease of Doing Business 2021 and 2022 in Nigeria, getting engaged in pool marketing on the global stage is crucial. Pool marketing puts out facts on the quality and quantity of raw materials, security, and the overall business climate of a state to create traction and gravitas, as opposed to push marketing where vital information is lacking.
All this investment potential we have. When you don't have information about them that investors can access, it means you cannot project your state to drive investment, to attract investment. So this program we're having is the first of its kind in Gombe State, the first of its kind in northern Nigeria.
For the government officials at the brainstorming session, Gombe has made sterling business innovations to keep it ahead of the pack, especially with the provision of the 1,000 hectares Muhammadu Buhari Industrial Park and novel initiatives in land administration and other business reforms.
Muhammadu Buhari Industrial Park is a 1,000 square meters specifically for industrial activities to attract investors, foreign and domestic, in Gombe State. And GOGIS has played a significant role in ensuring that this land is provided in a very strategic location, and we have all the incentives in place to ensure that any person that is going to be allocated a particular land in the industrial park, there is a free incentive at least for the first year without paying ground rent, and then subsequent years then you pay the ground rent. Everything now about land in Gombe is digital. We have ensured that we have simplified the process for obtaining digital certificate of occupancy, and also simplified and fast-track issuance of land for investors in Gombe State. And this contributes immensely to the overall investment capacity of Gombe State.
Gombe stand out from the other states having the necessary, having put the necessary infrastructure in place. Because we have a codified law that spells out all our taxes, and they are always in the lower side, considering the investment and the inflationary trend, so that to support the investments. We always try to make sure we take into cognizance about the cognizance of the private sector, like a give and take, so that to assist them and support and stimulate from micro to the macro economy. So we ease the taxes, make it very easier to be taken. In fact, registration for businesses in Gombe State is free.
For the representative of the UNDP, the Inuwa Yahya-led government has done much of a miracle with Gombe State's quantum leap from an abysmal 26th and 25th position in ease of doing business in 2018 before Governor Inuwa Yahya came onto winning ways in 2021 and 2022.
Gombe State has done, I would say, a miracle, but it's based on hard work and dedication from His Excellency and his current team. So In 2018, there was another method of assessing states, the World Bank method. It had 4 areas. They were looking at properties, they were looking at simplification, registering a business, they were looking at the law courts, and they were looking at enforcing contracts. Gombe in one of them was 26, and in another it was 25. It did marginally well in another, it was 13. So from that position, they've moved to number 1 in an expanded from 4. The criteria for assessment now are 12. And it includes infrastructure, health, electricity. They've widened it from the Presidential Enabling Business Economic Council. And Gombe came first 2 years in a row.
So sort of like a quantum leap.
Yes. That's the way we'll describe it, a quantum leap.
Yes.
Backed by dedication from Team Gombe and definitely with His Excellency pushing them ahead.
He also observes that the state has created a business ecosystem that is transparent and investor-friendly.
They have created an investment-enabled climate for business. From the simplification, transparency, introducing digital systems, it's taking away backhands, illegal bureaucratic issues. So it's a business-ready and a business-friendly state for any investor to come to.
As Gombe State prepares to ply its trade on the global stage, officials say they are confident of a 5-star rating from the Nigerian Investment Certification Program exercise.
You're watching Newsroom series on Channels Television. Still ahead, we'll bring you stories on Youth Day celebration in the region. Stay with us. Welcome back. The 2024 International Youth Day has been celebrated in colorful fashion in Gombe as youths light up the stage at various arenas in the state. This year's youth event is coming exactly 2 days after the August 1 to 10 End Bad Governance nationwide protest sparked off by the youths seeking for a better lease of life in the country. Youth groups in Gombe State celebrate intergenerational collaboration amongst Nigerians of all ages. Baby boomers, millennials, Gen X, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha would serve as a catalyst for sustainable development. According to statistics from a 2022 report by UNICEF, Nigeria has one of the largest youth populations in the world, with over 65 million young people aged 10 to 24, representing an extraordinary opportunity for development and growth. On the occasion of the 2024 International Youth Day in Gombe, Mr. Simon Karu, a federal lawmaker in the 9th Assembly who served as the keynote speaker at a youth event, believes that intergenerational collaboration and alliance between the old and the young generations will expedite the much-needed development in Nigeria.
I feel that Nigeria has politics, but we require young leaders. I don't have to refer to the current leadership, but all of us to get involved. And what is also important is that we all have a role to play. The older generation, the new generation, and those to come. Like I gave examples of the silent, the boomers, the Gen X, the millennials, the Gen Zs, and even the Gen Alpha. So we have been evolving through time, and there's a need for us to be conscious about this evolution and be able to provide the necessary environment for it to actually get to flourish.
What is sustainable development and how can development be sustainable?
During the panel discussion on empowering the youth for sustainable development, panelists share their personal stories to inspire innovative ideas in the youth as they call on the Tinubu-led government to double down on its posture of inclusivity.
I will really want to give a kudos to the president for bringing a lot of youth on board, and they are doing well, but I usually will say there is always room for improvement. And just a few minutes ago, one of the panelists speaking, he said sometimes there is this gap between you being out there and you being on the seat. Sometimes it is not all that we see out there. When you get to the position, it is not always like that the way we view it from the outside world. But I think it's a very good step forward, bringing a good number of youth on board. And I believe, given a time frame, if we are patient enough, they will bring policies that will bring a turnaround in the life of so many youth in this country.
Meanwhile, participants believe that the youth bulge in Nigeria is a blessing in disguise.
Our brains function faster than, let's say, the older generations. So for creativity to function or to play a major role in sustainable development, we find people, most especially creatives, writing poems, doing songs. They might not be long, but there's this thing that Facebook does, create a reel. So within 30 seconds, you're able to pass out an information. So it's now back to us and to find a means to pass this information through songs, through spoken words, through poems, share online with our friends.
As an advocate for greater inclusion for the youth, women, and the physically challenged, the group believes that decisions taken by the Tinubu-led government, such as local government autonomy, agricultural transformation, security reforms, and training the youth for visionary leadership and smart innovations, will get Nigeria out of the doldrums.
Our government
Yobe State government has assured the speedy completion of the remaining 4 ultra-modern markets out of the 7 proposed by Governor Mai Mala Buni when he came on board. The Commissioner for Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Abba, disclosed this while inspecting level of work at Kanama, Geidam, Ngarda and Potiskum ultra-modern markets. The government also signed a 251 million naira contract for the construction of the office complex of the ministry in Damaturu, the state's capital.
The Commissioner for Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Baba, and the technical team of the ministry arrived Kanama, a border community with Niger Republic, to inspect the foundation laying of a new market in the community. At Potiskum and Geidam, the 2 commercial nerve centers of the state, the construction of the ultra-modern markets has reached 60% completion level, while work has commenced at the Ngarda market.
I would say excellent in a way. So there's nothing we can fault from what we've seen. So the only thing would encourage the contractor is on the time frame. He has done well, and I believe we've physically seen the good work he has done. But what would also encourage him to do is to kind of speed up and finish the remaining places that are yet to be completed.
Honestly speaking, I'm not expecting to see this project the way I found it. He has done wonderfully well, and then his work in accordance with specification, and at the same time he has stocked materials that will give us assurance that this work will be completed as soon as possible.
The contractors handling the project also pledged to adhere to the specification and ensure the projects are delivered at the stipulated times.
Our work schedule is going according to where we have designed and reached. And then we would appreciate the urban planning too by giving us a good recommendation on how the work is and on how we also abide by the engineering.
We will continue trying our best. We will not disappoint the government on this issue. So all we have just seen, we have all the materials ready here, and the workmanship are there. They are tirelessly working day and night to see that this project was successful. Inshallah, we'll make it successful by the grace of God.
The residents commended Governor Mai Mala Buni for embarking on such projects that would boost their economy. We are grateful for this development. This gesture is not only for us, but for generations to come. We have heard of such in other places, but today we are experiencing it. They also inspect the Potiskum trailer park Park, classrooms at the Government Science Technical College, Damagum, and Government Girls Secondary School in Gelzarma. The team wraps up its activities by signing a 251 million naira contract for the construction of the office complex of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital.
The Adamawa state government has reiterated its commitment to upgrade the standard of education in the state by embarking on the training of teachers on digital technology as a key component of education. The training, which is hosted in Yola, the state's capital, is organized by the State Ministry of Education in conjunction with the Multi-Sectorial Crisis Recovery Project for the Northeast, funded by the World Bank.
About 200 teachers, headmasters and head teachers drawn from across the 21 local government areas of Adamawa State have gathered here as part of the recovery effort for the education sector in the state.
You can be in Nigeria. Can we put hands together for you?
The World Bank, through the Multi-Sectoral Crisis Recovery Project, is carrying out interventions across the Northeast region, and this time, these educators are receiving training on digital technology.
When they say data is king, it's not the data we use to browse, it's the data we have to be able to make decisions. And I'd like to say, we don't want this to just finish here. We want a situation whereby we go back to your schools and something has changed.
This intervention is considered critical because of the evolving nature of education, and it's essential to position the participants to be knowledgeable of data analysis in line with global best practices.
Information should be assessed at the tips of our finger. We don't want a situation where 20 years to come, students would have graduated and then it becomes difficult to assess or discover if he or she actually graduated or finished from that school. If there are no evidence, it becomes difficult. So a situation where record management are not even kept in a way that information can be assessed easily, it becomes a challenge.
You can see on the education aspect, a lot have been achieved under MCRP. If you get down to some of our schools, apart from the 7 LGAs that were ravaged by Boko Haram, most of our schools within the 7 LGAs have now been rehabilitated. Instructional materials were provided, beddings and mattresses, chemicals and reagents were provided. And today we are witnessing another aspect on the educational system by way of training our teachers in both primary and secondary schools on data.
The training is a train-the-trainer session, as the participants are expected to cascade the lessons learned here to their colleagues in the places of posting.
And that's it on Newsroom Series for today. I'm Dominic Iriwu. Stay safe.